It's Cheering Bulk here, and so a while back, you guys may remember I did a video talking about how I felt like Tremor was Smoke's best cameo, and I went into a little bit of detail, some things about what the benefits of it were for him, but there were a couple of people in the comments who weren't quite clear on what this cameo actually does for him, and some other people asked me, like on Twitter, um, like, what does he really give uh, compared to like WoW or Sub? So this is a video where I might call the tips and tricks with Tremor video, but I don't know. I just kind of want to go over the things that I like about Tremor for a smoke in more detail than I did before. So one of the first things is that the ambush potential with this cameo does a lot for smoke. So you may have heard there are some people who can, in fact, even when you're invisible, react to back two because of the way the screen shifts, right? And I've been practicing doing this. This is a real thing you can do. So against like players who had done the training, you can't necessarily overhead somebody who's a pure mix. So what you need is at the highest level, you're going to need more layered offense, right? So an example of something that you can do with smoke that I really like when he has tremor is I can do a block string to EX smoke bomb, and I can set up a true ambiguous 50-50 situation. So it'll like, let's say you do like 2-1-2, and you call tremor, right? So the reason that this is ambiguous is because of shit like that. Or, right? It's like a real lower overhead with a lot of variable timing involved. Now, I prefer to cancel to ambush into aftershock because I think the aftershock low is the best option. But as you can see here, I mean, if it hits, get it right. You know, you get a combo, right? If they get hit, and if they block the whole thing, here, you're plus 23, right? So you get another strike throw chance. The other thing about this is that even if one hit hits by itself and you confirm, you get gigantic damage. So an example I'm going to use is I'm going to set the smoke here to stand block and stance. So forward 1-2-2-4 becomes really dangerous with Tremor because you get to do things like this. So an example is if they get clipped by the low, you get a combo off of EX knife. And you can hit confirm that by itself. Okay? And if they're ducking and you do down back 2 instead, you get a combo. This is like, and that's not to mention the added layers of like this or like yeah, like there are things, there are a lot of complicated layers to the offense that you can do that make it very easy to open somebody up. Because the thing is, they're going to be looking for the ambush, right? So it is just a fake out in general for you to just like call Tremor and not do anything, right? Because they have to respect and be ready for you to do something, because you might. And that opens them up to getting mixed by you while you're invisible and you didn't spend your cameo. So on this same note, the thing that Tremor gives Smoke is humongous damage when he gets a hit, and I especially like particularly the kinds of hits that he gets big damage off of. So I'm gonna put back on stand block here, and I'm just gonna show you what 3 bars off the last hit of this string will net you if you want to cash out. All right. $50% for that one hit. Same thing goes for down back two. So put them on duck. Let me try that again. This is hard to time, but I guess spend 2 bars for this. Almost 50%, right? So it's a single hit that's unreactable, right? You can't react to the low of the overhead bit situation. And he gets 50% either way if he cashes out. I didn't even do it optimally. Let me see if I can get this right one more time. All right, yeah. So now what's the damn... So this leads into something I'm going to try to explain here in a minute, as soon as I can show you this. Yeah, so you get 48 or 50. 50 for 3 bars, 48 for 2. Another thing about this is you get very easy 50+% 3-bar combos off like every hit possible. So an example is back 2. So if you're invisible and you have 2 bars or somehow you get a third, you can do back 2-3, EX knife, ambush low, and then do two teleports. You do 55%. Like Smoke is not hitting that with anyone else in this game. You can do the same thing off your low, right? So like, if you catch them sleeping and you hit this, you can do this. $51%. And then, you know, if you catch them ducking, you hit them. Here, you get the 55%. Or if you like play it safe, like let's say you do back 2, down back 2. Because people get hit by that a lot because they're trying to block below. %. So most of the time, you don't even have to spend 3 bars, right? You don't even have to. And that's like huge with this character, especially when you're like invisible. You know, like you go invisible, you do like this. Just do over 50. Right? Like they're literally blocking for their life when you're invisible with Tremor. So yeah. The other thing is that you get like good convertibility off every hit with Tremor. You know, you get a combo off your full 1-1-1 string. Good damage off this. good damage off this. You get good damage off this. And then if you're just doing like staggers and other kinds of things to play mind games with, you can do this. You can do like this or this for a true 50-50. Same thing goes for 2-1-2. Off 2-1-2, you can just straight up be like this or that. So he also gets the ability to 50-50 you on a micro level a lot. Like you can just do a lot of back-to-back things. Like, okay, so the second hit 4-3-2 is 24, and this is 27, right? So you can do things like down 1 and 4-3 back Kameo and aftershock, and like they really can't fuzzy this because they try to fuzzy it. You get to overhead them. Okay, so that's like a big deal mind game to be able to have. The other thing, of course, about this Kameo that is totally unique, that no one else in this game can do as far as like ambushes go, is jump over setups. So like if I sweep and then jump, I can have Tremor do something on the other side. And you once again set up like ambiguous 50-50 situations. Right? So that's really powerful. Like the ability to do like empty jump into a low on the other side is a big deal. Especially in a game with the up block mechanic, right? So if you're fighting somebody who's up block happy, for example, you can do this. You can jump right at them and punish them for it, right? You took no risk doing this. So and you get a solid little conversion off it, right? Same thing goes for like with the bowler. I like to use the bowler when jumping over people, like this. Hold on. Like that hits people all the fucking time. Hits people all the time. So you get very powerful, hard to deal with offense. It's just like relentless with how they have to block differently, right? That's why they've been skeptical of my claim that you can play this character as almost like a Rekka character on 4th-1, but Tremor is why. Because you can do this, they block it to get pushed back. They have to commit to down wanting this to stop the neutral reset, right? Which means they open themselves up to getting hit by the low, which means they open themselves up to getting hit by the overhead, which means they open themselves up to all sorts of shit. Then, you can do this. You can do this stagger into a cancel all day in the throw, and then you can do 4-3 because they try attack, and it will hit them. Like there are so many layers that Tremor opens up for smoke that I think at the highest level are mandatory. Like you literally, in some situations, basically get to punish somebody for their good anti-airing instincts, right? Like, and you can make it hard to block too, of course. Something like this. Something like that. Right? Very powerful. Very strong. So, the other thing that Tremor offers on the note of like his combo convertibility options is the fact you get full combos from anywhere on screen off of EX Standback 1 is the entire. As long as you're like right here around start distance. Hold on, let me. Okay, a little closer than around start distance, because people like to neutral jump, or they like to try to jump away from you when you're invisible a lot, right? So if you hit them with this, it fucking hurts. Like, they just wanted to get away from you and not block invisible mix-ups, and so they eat 40%. And then, of course, in the same way, if you dump all your bar on this, you do a shit ton of damage. Right. And I'll show if you have failed too, because that's actually a realistic scenario. Like, people will panic in situations where they think they have you beat and they get careless. So they try to like jump back or neutral jump bait. You hit them with this. Launch. As you'll see, this literally, they're dead. It executes them. This is the fucking execution combo. This is like a IRL ultra combo from Killer Instinct. Just because they wanted to jump. Okay. Now, there are some peculiarities with this Kameo that you have to learn. So, one of the big things, and this is the hardest to get a hang of, is when you're comboing off of down back 2. There is a certain timing that you must master. So you could just do like, you know, and get this to come out as soon as possible, and it does 40%. But that's not what you want. If you do it as late as possible, so that both hits of down back 2 hit before the aftershock ambush starts, you get quite a bit more damage. Right, I just got basically 4% more because of that. That's huge. And it's vital because, I mean, if you nail one of these in a match with fail blow, you do over half life, no meter. So what you have to do is you have to learn how to do it as late as possible. It's like you have to summon Tremor and do a delayed ambush when you see the smoke bomb kind of pass over their head. Like that. But if you do it too late, he comes out on the wrong side. And you'll know you're doing it correctly because after 3-2, you should have done like 340 or 50-ish damage. That's how you know you did it correctly. So like if I do it off back 2, so that's how you know. If you hit 340 or 50 damage when you do your 3-2, then you did it correctly. But it is very... This requires practice, for sure. But it's worth it, as you can see. I mean, you're doing 40+% meter less off like any hit. On. I mean, yeah, this is vital. with this cameo. So another thing, of course, that is nice about this is I am starting to actually use the armor a lot. So I thought originally that this was kind of garbage and pointless. So here's the thing. If you go look at what it actually says it does, it says you cannot be immobilized, knocked down, or thrown while crystal armor is active. So it turns out that what this actually means, by the way, is while this armor is up, you can just fucking throw people over and over. Well, like, as long as this armor is up, it's a free throw, essentially. Is they can, like, duck down to you, but they down to you. Let me check this. I think you're punishable on hit if the person is the Tremor armor on. Yeah, I think so. See if I can get that to work. Gotta wait for it to cool down. Yep. Punishable on hit if they down to you. Because you whiffed a throw, right? Like, who cares? Okay. So the armor is really nice because it kind of enables his strike throw game in a unique way. So, like, another thing that's I'm finding is really good is if you're, like, having trouble getting throws off, you can do, stuff like this. Hold on. And go for a throw right there. That's protected, essentially. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. The other way that you can use this, of course, is if you do something punishable. Like let's say you just want to see if you can fish for a hit with a back 4-3 or something to, like, fraud out around. You can do this. And become immune to the punishment, right? Like if they try to do a combo starter like Johnny Cage does, like an invincible nut punch or something, they'll be punishable on hit with the nut punch, for example. And of course, the other thing about this is the way that Vitalik lets them control space. Low boulder with smoke is actually pretty fucked up. You can do things like overhead immediate teleport, and it's a hard to blockable, right? So you can, as you can see if I can get this to work. I can immediately teleport as soon as the bowler comes out. So this means that I can switch up the timing on this, like, however I want. From, like, all the way out here. And I can switch up the block timing. Because, as you can see, if I do it ASAP, see if I can get this to actually come out. Yeah, like, what are you gonna do? So show, here, I'll show that this is not affected by unblockable protection, by the way. So, okay, so that is. So let's say we try to delay it a little bit. Yeah. That's, like, very hard to block. So there are setups for this situation that you can do, right? So, like, just say, and then do teleport, right? That's a very fucked up thing this character can do. Especially, it's like a really fucked up thing that's dangerous out of a corner, right? So if you're cornered and you hit somebody, like even let's just say they jump at you for whatever reason, that you air to air with 112, backdash, bowler throw, teleport, and you're safe, right? The bowler is so plus, you're actually not punishable on the teleport if it gets blocked anyway. You might even still be plus because teleport from this range. I want to show this boulder from this range. It doesn't even say how plus it is. I'll tell you how. We'll go off the low because I think it will give me the low frame data at least. So duck. So it's plus 28 on the low. So I would assume the frame data is probably the same. So yeah, that's like another thing is if you're unable to prevent him from getting this out, he's just getting in. There's not really much you can do. That's a thing that no other cameo in this game gives Smoke is a way to force himself in however he sees fit. So to full screen, yeah. So another thing about this, of course, is that you can actually dash after it. The overhead bowler, I mean. And you get a combo of this hits from all the way out there. So it's going to take me a couple of tries here for a demonstration. Look at that. Full combo. Right. So that's really good. This poke in metallic is also really good. Like, it's just fucking stupid. This also allows you to combo mirrorlessly off a teleport, for example. So you can use it as ambush to get teleport combos mirrorlessly. So, like, if you pull a trigger on like a random yellow teleport, you can do this. And it combos if it's successful, and if it gets blocked, you're plus on the teleport. So that's good. The low boulder, like I said, controls space really well. From certain distances, let me see if I can get this to work. If they get hit in a certain way, like if they, for example, they get hit jumping, because people actually get clipped by the low bowler while jumping quite a bit, like that. You get like you actually get the starlight pressure from there. So like if they get clipped like this, now you're on top of them invisible. So let me see. What else would I like to demonstrate here? Oh yeah. And then one of the most basic things that I value in this game is the pushback. So you have 3 different enders and all 3 variations to give you pushback. You know, Crystalline is this, Aftershock has this, and Metallic has this. So pushback situations with Smoke are really good. That's one thing about this character I realize. It's partially why Sub is good, because Sub Shoulder gives you the same thing. So even though, let's see how, so this is 0 on block, right? Most characters, if they try to press into you, right, like they do an advancing button, you're going to smoke them. Because of the way that his stand 2 hitbox works. So you're either going to do stand 2 after the pushback situation here to beat the advancing button, or they're going to do a poke, like a crouch poke, in which case you back two, and you're right at maximum back two range, right? Thing goes to the crystalline, crystal punch. Like you play the same mind game. It doesn't matter. Um, and this makes it really difficult for some characters like Johnny to deal with, because first of all, Johnny has to commit to crouch jabbing this to stop it from coming out, right? He can get hit by the low. He can get clipped by doing a surprise overhead. He can get hit many ways during this. So the other thing about this is you get some pretty powerful setups off your throw. Your regular character throw, not your cameo throw. So, like, if I do back throw, I get a hard to blockable immediately with Bowler Ambush. So, this is what it looks like. If I can get it to actually come out. So, yeah, like you can do a vertical, you can do a horizontal bowler throw right after your throw, and it meaties. And you have to block a hard to blockable, right? That's cool. You can also do things like sometimes depending on the situation, like maybe you don't get hit by the last hit of this, so you can throw this, and it meaties on regular wake up. So if I set it to auto block, and they get up into this, you're plus 16, right? This basically almost jails off of that if they have to block it. What else can we talk about here? Now, of course, the other thing is that you can use the metallic poke here to like OS launch off strings. So like, let's say you don't know for sure, you don't want to hit confirm. So I'll set this to stance block, standing, and you do this. You can basically make it a launcher if it's blocked, and you can make it a launcher if it hits, and plus if it's blocked. And the thing is, you're probably noticing, look at how fast these ambushes recharge. Like, for example, let's just say I do this. So, I'm going to do like a big cash out combo using an ambush. Look at how fast it's recharging already. Right? I already have a Kameo use back essentially by the time I finish my B&B. So this is available a lot more than you would expect. It like you don't have to worry about the cooldown so much. So yeah, it's the thing about this Kameo is it gives him big damage. It improves his mix-up game immensely, and it does so in a way that it prevents him from having to spend meter on going invisible. Like, he doesn't necessarily have to go invisible because of this. But if you want to do it that way, he also gets his highest damage combos into invisibility. So an example of a B&B would be like that. It's a little tricky, but let me see if I can actually get the juggle to work. So like off this. Right. You have ways to get into visibility. They're actually pretty good. So there's that. So yeah, I wanted to do a video because, like I said, there were some people who they weren't quite sure or how to process actually what the benefits of this cameo are to him, and I thought I would just do something a little more in depth. There's of course other things. You know, you have an invincible reversal. The crystalline punch reversal is pretty good actually. If you like use it against like a low hat gap, for example, like they do a string to low hat, this not only punches them but reflects the hat and hits them at the same time. Things like that. Um, but yeah, that's the reason I like it. He gets better neutral, he gets better damage, he gets better mix-ups, like unique mix-ups he can't get anywhere else. Like it just makes Smoke as a whole a better character, and you don't have to like. So I'm gonna do a video talking about Just Nasty's team of Smoke Sub. I played it for a week, and I'm gonna do a video where I kind of review it. And the problem with Smoke Sub is it's very linear. It has one goal. This cameo makes you very flexible. You can fight all sorts of matchups with this and make it work and doable because the diversity of options you have and the different ways you can mix up and get damage. So, um, yeah. I guess this is just kind of a part two video as to why you would play this cameo, but that's why. So I hope this was informative and helped out more than the first video. I'm going to do a combo video for this team soon. A full combo video. There will be notations in the video, and I'll show you like optimal conversions off of almost every situation. And anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me a comment, like it, and subscribe, and all that stuff, because I'm going to actually try to push pretty hard with the channel this year. I actually really love this game. I can't believe it. Like, I'm in the minority of liking the game right now, but I love this game. I'm having a lot of fun with it. So anyway, thanks for watching. You let me know what you guys think, especially other Smoke players, and I'll catch you later.